Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser here with senior safety of Calvary Baptist, Landon Sylvie. The Cavs just beat Isidore Newman at home in the semifinals and are on to the Superdome for the first time in a minute, heading down from Shreveport to play in the Superdome for a state championship later this week against St. Charles Catholic in Division III Select. Landon, how does all that sound? I know it was kind of part of the plan for you guys, but I mean, being now heading to New Orleans in a couple of days, how exciting is this week, and where are y'all at, mentally, emotionally, etc.
It's great as a team. Just know all the hard we put in, it paid off to get here, but we're not done yet. But mentally, we are in the right spot. We know what it takes to do it and what it's got to do to finish it. But emotionally, the celebrating over, but it's time to work to get to the real goal.
What was I guess in the wake of the semifinal win, take me through the mood. Was everybody pretty all over the place and excited and celebrating, or was it pretty locked in and focused? I mean, that as quickly as that night. When did the page turn?
That next day, really. Like that Saturday, that next morning, everybody was like, we got the win, but we know the real win is that's next Saturday. But all the emotions after the game, after a little hour and a half after the game, that's when all the fun really started.
I meant to ask you, just kind of wrapping up that game against Newman as well. You had the big interception late that kind of signed, sealed, delivered the whole thing, where it looked like you kind of baited Eli a little bit and then jumped it, as we've seen you do in multiple settings through the years. Talk me through that play and the excitement there to realize, okay, here we go, we're heading on.
Throughout the whole game, he was staring down his targets throughout the whole game. Then coming out that play, I figured they're gonna try to get to their big target. Then when he lined up, he kind of stared me down, trying to see where he go, place his route at, and I just jumped his route at the end.
I mentioned this will be the first time in a while Calvary's been in the Superdome. It was 2014. Calvary won a state championship in 2020, but it was the COVID year at Northwestern State. And I think this is a storyline that folks up there are certainly talking about. Coach Guin is excited to get to the Dome. What does it mean to play not only in a state championship game, but in that venue that has so much history and hype behind it as the Superdome does?
It's great because like when I was younger, I used to watch my older brother play when he won those state championships for Calvary. I always dreamed of playing in that same spot. So now it's just a dream for all of us on the team to play in the Superdome.
That's exactly what I was about to ask you. You would know as well as any member of this team pretty much some of the background there in the history, because Chanse was a part of that group that made those dome runs almost a decade ago now. What do you remember about being a young guy and being there and watching those teams play?
It was like this what Calvary's do. Like playing for Calvary, they win, they go to these big stadiums, play these big games, and get all this hardware. So as new coming in as a senior, knowing like what we got to do to prove that we are Calvary.
What has been special about this group? Because y'all have been kind of building. You had a little bit of a quarterfinal hurdle in recent years to kind of get over that. I know you guys were excited a week ago to get past that, but knew that the end goal was still a couple weeks away. When did you kind of realize what this team could be, and what was it about this group that let y'all know that this could be a year that y'all get back where you feel like you belong?
We knew early on in the season that we could be good because we are like really one team. Everybody hang out with each other, like everybody good with each other. Like chemistry's there, coaches, everybody get along, and everybody know how to take criticism with each other. Like we can get players can get on the players, no talking back, and we know how to respond to adversity. So we know we can make a run for it.
I asked Jay at the beginning of the playoffs too. Y'all's group plays with a high energy level and a level of swagger. As veterans on this team, what is it like to find the balance between confidence and swagger and not getting overconfident or taking anything lightly or anyone lightly along the way? Finding that balance, not just for you guys, but for younger teammates that are expected to play roles and maybe don't have quite the same level of experience of how to manage it as y'all do.
We balance that with showing other kids like we have yet to prove ourselves as great players. Like we have nothing to show for it outside that 2020 year, but that's what we're trying to get to now.
coach who's been coaching for so long had talked to Roy Lang recently, and probably some other media up there in Shreveport, about how going to the Superdome was something that was missing from his head coaching career for everything he's accomplished. How has his excitement been, and how excited are y'all to be a group that takes him there?
This feels great because we a group that he go from him forever. So it's just us doing it for him is like the bigger goal as well. Like, no, we all trying to experience something new for once.
Any early thoughts on this matchup against two-time defending champion St. Charles Catholic that still feels like they're underrated because so much attention has kind of gone to you guys in one half of the state and U High, who they just beat in the semis? How much do you know about the Comets so far? What's your thoughts on facing a team with that recent track record of championships?
I know they trying to three-peat, and how we feel and how we got something to prove as well. Like, we got a lot of people on this team that's underrated, like LaVarze Houston, Trey Davis, Chris Jackson, all of them. Like, we know, like, we got people to prove to the whole state and nation that, like, we can compete with other people.
For folks that are seeing y'all for the first time this season, what should they expect to see when y'all are on that big carpet in the Superdome under the bright lights, and we're kicking this thing off, and Saturday afternoon?
Physicality, people moving fast, everybody to the ball defensively, offensively, a lot of explosive plays, everybody on the sideline hype for each other and everything. So you can see a lot of everything Saturday.
I know I've seen videos. Big bro Chanse was pretty hype on the sideline Friday, kind of helping play an additional assistant coach and cheerleader to some degree to get you guys onto that next level. What has he had to say about, whether it be advice on how to handle this week or just his excitement to see you do what he did 9 years ago?
Advice is just treat it as another game, because that's what it is. Like, we just playing football, the sport we love. But advice on the sideline, he always give me like next level advice, like how I should read the quarterback, how I should run to my zone, how I should read it, how I should come down, play the run. So it's great for all players, really, because he motivate them and tell them how they should play their position as well.
No doubt. Good deal. And I'm sure we'll see him there next weekend with the rest of you guys coming down from Shreveport to represent. Again, he's Landon Sylvie, standout senior safety for that Calvary Baptist team, the number 2 seed in the Division III Select Playoffs, getting ready to finish off their season against the number 1 seed St. Charles Comets. Should be one of the better games of the weekend, I think. Landon, appreciate you, man.
Yeah.